or maybe a movement that you know is giving you a little bit of fuss, like a forward fold might be bothering your kind of your SI joint, your lower back area. Maybe you've got rotation, like if you put your hands on your hips and you turn, you don't feel like you can go very far around or equal in distance on each side. Or maybe it's just a simple squat and you're trying to see where you're at with it. Can you get low? Are your heels on the ground? Are your heels up? Just do a baseline movement. And a real simple one, of course, is just touching your toes and seeing where you're at. So remember, a baseline movement is just a movement for you, simple, not complex movement, meaning multiple parts to it, that you can check in and see where you're at. So if you've done your movement, let's get down to the ground. Go ahead and set yourself back, lay yourself nice and long on your ground. Again, you can always start with your knees bent if you feel like you're not quite ready to extend your legs all the way. Extending your legs all the way is not a problem unless it is. When you do, again, you're taking that lever length and you're just moving it away, which can arch your back slightly and just put your back at a little bit of discomfort. It's not right or wrong, good or bad. It just is what it is. And so sometimes it's nice to start with your knees bent and then go to straight legs when your back is a little bit more rested. Take a big deep breath. We're going to start with about 5 long, slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths. Tongue on the roof of your mouth. And remember, it's not so much how high you breathe. It's not even absolutely how wide you breathe, but are you breathing kind of from the top to the bottom? When your diaphragm and you inhale a couple more breaths, you push down into the floor of the pelvis. And that floor of the pelvis kind of catches the pressure of the diaphragm and then pushes back up, which is a great thing to do. It kind of helps the pelvic floor, helps the body do well down in reproductive and or elimination organs, and as well just really balances out your breath. Beginning with an eyes look up, chin to your sternum, head up, just a little head nod, sink your head. Remember, you're not moving into pain. So if it's just a head nod, that's fine. If it's a head nod with a head lift, great as well. Or even if it's just eyes look up, eyes look down, that's fine as well. You're noticing what you're noticing. You're letting your body see what it sees, giving yourself some opportunity to really just feel how your body's doing right now. And last, making sure that tongue is still against the roof of the mouth. And then let's look to the left and look to the right. Nice, simple motions. Remember, when we're doing this head turn, eye and head turn, you're still breathing with the tongue against the roof of your mouth. Obviously, I'm not currently, but you're trying to find that nice, even balance. Eyes move, head follows. Eyes move, head follows. This is one of the harder things to video or take still of because it's hard to see that tracking mechanism. This is really kind of the secret sauce to good movement. One more time. Okay. Nice, simple motion. Just a windshield wiper. So that windshield wiper opens and works this inguinal joint. Remember, in movement, movement can be just movement for movement's sake. Movement can have an intentional design, and movement can be strength as well. So don't think of any one movement as just, oh, this is just a stretch, or this is just for mobility, or this is just for whatever. Each movement can have a more defined connection depending on the speed that you do something at, the length of time that you do something for, or of course, repetitions. And then range of motion is another key. A couple more times side to side. But this beautiful movement right here is just such a great motion, especially end of day, end of or beginning of day for that matter. You just open up those hips, strengthen that movement of the hips. So you've got your psoas here, you've got your TFL goes into your IT band and just kind of opens up inner thigh a bit and then kind of moves into the digestion. So maybe even after you've eaten, it's a good movement. We're taking this movement now, just to your knees into your chest, and you're just rocking side to side. So we're just kind of moving side to side. and just rock back and forth. Now, you can add to this, so I have to take off my glasses. So again, you're going to add to this by picking up your head. Pick up your head, look over the shoulder, not behind you, don't hang your head. And then roll, and then look over your shoulder like your cheek is coming to the ground. Look up, bring your knees up, and look to the other side, and look in and over your shoulder. Your cheek is coming towards the ground. Your eyes are coming to the ground. Hopefully I'm not completely going out of the screen. I know as I go to the back, it's a little bit better than towards the camera. Again, you're looking toward your shoulder. You can even lay your head on the ground, roll, and pick your head up. One more time here. Now we're going to kind of add that rotation of the head, bring those legs back in together. Let's move my glasses, so throw them on they currently are doing. And what you're going to do, we've done this before, bring your knees into your chest, arms out as a T. So two things we've done already. We've opened up the hip joints. We're moved through the thoracic spine a bit and the head and neck. Now we're going to kind of add those things together. Both knees come over to your right or left, doesn't really matter. Both knees over to your right, left shoulder's down. Take your left hand, reach it across, goes far over. So I'm reaching past my right hand, and I want to look to my left, to my right shoulder. Then take my left arm overhead as high as I can until I get this beautiful stretch in my chest and arm. And then again. So I close my palm and I reach my top hand as far as I can as I look past my shoulder. Take my left arm overhead. I can watch my left hand come back. It's like you're closing a gate and reaching, circle that left arm all the way around. Really watch it go through. One more time. Reach past your top arm, look towards your bottom arm, and then roll back to the other side. Let's just bring those knees to center. Bring your knees back to your chest. Take both knees to your left. Arms are out wide. And now I'm taking my right hand and I'm going all the way to my left. Reach past my left hand. Look towards my left shoulder. And then roll my whole body over. That's the secret sauce there, is getting that top arm as far over as you can. Looking back first into that shoulder. And then rolling that top arm around. Let's do two more. Over, look, reach, and roll. Last one here. This is like there's a shirt puller. And then all the way over. Bring those knees back into center. Make your way back to wherever it's comfortable for you. And we're going to do one of the best stretches ever on the planet. Happy baby's pose. Bring your knees towards your chest. Just kind of rock slightly to kind of get your back out from underneath you. Reach between your legs, hold your feet as best you can, and then lift your feet towards the sky. Now your arms are going across the midline of your shin, not on the outsides of your feet. If this is too much stretch, it just doesn't feel comfortable for you, you'll just do one leg at a time. And what you're doing is you're putting a little friction, a little pressure into your hand by your foot, and then pulling your foot into the ground as well. If you're doing both feet, your feet are up, and you're working to get your tailbone not tucked or curled, but level on the ground. And of course, you can only do one leg if you want. Just gets that beautiful inner thigh. So all of these three movements connected together really help that inner thigh, the outer hips, the thoracic spine, the shoulders, and of course the head and neck. So how'd you do? Let's recheck our baseline. Bring yourself all the way back up again. Might even just feeling better. Good. And whatever your baseline is, maybe it was a squat, a forward fold, whatever it was, reach down. My even forward fold just feels a little more almost like liquidy coming down, like it's coming down easy. My squat is a little bit better. Late in my day, and then, but nicely done. Good. And of course, if your movement was a rotation, that's fine as well. Finding a movement that connects you to your body and what you need is sometimes the difficult, because sometimes we're really good at forward folding and we can't get much better at it. So sometimes we need to find new movements that just kind of help connect us together. All right, let's go down. Hopefully that felt a little bit better, maybe a little different, or gave us a new information about how we were doing. All right, so we're going to do a real quick rest assess, masses and spaces, and we're going to go right into some calf work. Go ahead and take your arms down to your side. Take a deep breath, inhale. And exhale. So of course, keeping your tongue against the roof of your mouth is an ideal place because that's just where it belongs anyway. But being aware of that, intentionally breathing, nice long slow beat into the diaphragm. Almost like you're breathing into 6 points, top and bottom, sides and front and back. And then just notice your masses and spaces. If it's better for you to close your eyes so you can see inside the body, giving yourself that beautiful permission just to see what your body sees. You just notice the heels, how they touch the ground. They feel even and equally weighted as masses. The small arch behind the ankles, that space, does it feel about the same? One of my feet is on one mat, one of them is on the other, so they feel a little bit different just because of that. Just be aware of those types of things. Then this mass of your calves, how does that feel? The space behind the knees. Now my left knee feels a little bit higher than my right knee does. Just my perception, the mass of my calves. The space behind my lower back feels good, but I do feel my pelvis slightly tilted forward. The space at my belly, pretty nice, not too high of a domed arch. My rib cage to my shoulders feels pretty level on the ground. The weight on my head feels nice. It is kind of heavy, but it feels evenly weighted to the ground, and my arms also feel evenly weighted to the ground. Divide the body in half, just notice the right and left sides and see what you see. You know what you know. Take a deep breath. And then let's grab that roller. Now for calf work, you can always sit up. This is a nice option to sit up with if you feel like you're like being on the ground and you just don't want to do it. If you can, on your back though, I'm going to stay on my back for a little bit. And let's get that roller to the lower end of the calf, but not on the really true ankle. And let's just begin to bend and straighten. Remember, if your heels drop to the ground really quick, you're probably too far up your calf, and so they're just on the ground too quickly. So you need to be about 3/4 of the way down your calves, and you want to have your legs pretty evenly spaced on the roller, and just bend and straighten the knee. Try to keep the weight or compression as even as possible, so there's less pushing and pulling on the roller. And then as you straighten the legs out, there's a little bit more pressure than when you draw the knees up a little bit, but not by a lot. So you're not trying to pull the roller towards you by any means. Let's turn both knees to your left. Remember, there's a lot of stuff going on in your calves. You've got, of course, the gastrocnemius, the big ball of the calf muscle at the top of the leg. Turn your knees to the right. And then you've got underneath that the soleus. And the soleus is a deeper muscle, kind of a pumping muscle. And then the extensors of the calf and ankle, and those get into kind of how the ankle flexes and points and how it stabilizes the ankles into the bones of the foot. Good, so let's roll the knees around if you need to change position on the roller. So I'm taking my knees out and then rolling my knees together and straightening, bending and straightening. And so I kind of get a rolling action. It's a little bit of a shearing action here. But all of those muscles of the calf go then toward the foot. And then you get all of that nice flexion, extension, stability of the foot. And some of them attach a little higher, a little lower, go around, saddle around the foot even. And so we can get pain in our calves that can affect our feet, like plantar fasciitis. So you want to look at different things, especially if things come and go a lot. It could be a hydration issue. One more time, circle around. Now push and pull on the roller. So you're pushing your left leg straight as you're pulling your right knee in a little bit. And here we've got a shear back and forth on the back of the calf a little bit. So again, if you've got calf stuff that's going on and off, remember, it could be coming from above the location of the calf. It may not be just the calf, but it could just be because of pumping. It could be below, it could be a foot thing specifically. Maybe you walked a lot or did some motions. And then let's just drop the knees side to side, another lateral shear. Deep breaths, and then pause. And then let's just take the right leg and cross it over the left, and then bend and straighten, just again, up and down. So very often you'll have pain on one side over the other. You won't have pain on both sides of the feet, ankles, or calves, because you don't necessarily sprain both ankles, or both ankles don't have problems. Knee comes in on that left ankle. Good, and then let's roll, kind of like we did when we were just on two legs. So attend to the muscles. Remember, always go above the area of pain. See if there's anything going on there. Hamstring, calf, a hamstring, of course, for the calf, or even the glute. You could have something going on, let's say a nerve line, and it could even be like a flow situation, like your fluid return is not coming up very well. One more time, pause. Now butt up against any tender spots, any bumps, and then let's roll that bottom ankle. Always remember the key with any of this calf work is to keep the feet relaxed. Good, and then roll the other direction, and then pause. Just let it all settle for a second. Let's take the right leg off and put the left foot on top of the right now. Bend and straighten the right knee. So of course, feet strengthening can help with any calf work. And also it's going to help with balance work too. Roll the leg around on my plan was on Saturday was to do some balance stretches or balance exercises and for your foot, because your foot really has a lot to do with your balance. Good. Go ahead and pause. Let's go side to side. So I'll add those in to your Saturday session, and then you can do them on your own as well. Good. Go ahead and pause, butt up against a spot. Roll that ankle. Again, try to keep the foot from being overly tense. Roll the other direction. And then pause. Just sit there for a second. The weight settle in. And then let's just bring the knees in. I'm just going to have you take your right hand and just go down and back up. Down the front side, up the back side. Down the front side, up the back side. It's like a rinsing action. Down the front side, up the back side last time. Down the front side, up the back side. Let's do the same thing on the first leg. Down and then up, down, and then up. Two more, down, and then up and down, up. Very nice. If you want, you can recheck your masses and spaces. Just notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. You can recheck your baseline here if you'd like to as well. Push pause if you're watching this again. Take a nice deep breath. Good. And let's get up to some rebalancing. So let's go all the way to full body on the roller. Hopefully I just made your calves feel a little bit better. For me, just sometimes doing calf work is great. It's like when those like foot massage places kind of came into vogue for a little bit of time. I would really just like the foot massage part. So you're on your roller head to hips, make sure your head's not coming off and you're fully on at the far end. And you want to have those knees bent with your heels underneath the knees, hands to your sides, and let's just rock side to side. Good. Remember, what you're noticing is what you're looking for. Of course, if not, is pain is an indicator that your body's looking for change. But what you're noticing is, does your body contact the roller? Are there big spots where you feel like your body's resisting the roller, like arched away from the roller? Or is there parts of your body that's kind of imprinting, like maybe a vertebrae or two that's kind of overplaying its hand on the roller or pushing into the roller, kind of poking you a little bit? And remember, if this is too much rocking, just pause and just let yourself rest on the roller and just look from right to left. Or just pick up your right hand and then pick up your left hand and just do less if you want to. Let's pause anyway and put your thumbs on your navel, index fingers right inside that pelvic bowl, and begin to tuck and tilt. Big breath, exhale, tuck. Inhale, exhale, tilt. Get long, away from the base of the neck. So you're pulling from way underneath the ear, you're not just tucking and tilting, but you're working the length of the spine here. And you can play with the sounds you make, because the different kind of sounds are going to affect vagus nerve. They're also going to affect how your kind of diaphragm takes up the breath in your core. So adding an SH tightens up a little bit. Adding a CH kind of changes how maybe the upper diaphragmatic holds, or just inhaling and exhaling. Maybe it just flows a little bit nicer. And then tuck and tilt. Should just feel nice. Take your hands to your rib wall. Big deep breath to your ribs. Exhale, encourage the ribs to move in and down. Again, inhale to the width, not the height or the lower part. Exhale, encourage the ribs down. One more time, inhale and exhale. Reach those arms out, draw your shoulders back. Reach out, sink back. Watch that the elbows don't bend. Just allow your arms to reach away from the roller toward your knees, and then almost wrap around the roller. One more time. Reach out, hold, take both arms overhead, both arms back to your thighs. No circle. Keep the armpits and the shoulders low. So as the arms come up, don't just let the shoulders sink. Keep the armpits into the body. That means your hands won't be able to go much higher than just over your head. You're not trying for full range of motion here. What you're trying to do is engage the muscles that hold the shoulders down and allow those muscles to retrain, to release the muscles from your neck. One more time, coming up. And then let's just do one arm and then the other. Again, pulling down. So this is more similar to like our walking postures. Breathing, pulling underneath, making sure as your arm goes up, you're not just letting your arm reach. As your arm goes down, you're working the pinky finger away from the thumb on the opposite hand. So you're even trying to link the hands in movement. You might get some clicking, popping, maybe in your shoulder. You can kind of hear it in your ears. Do a little less, maybe, or go a little slower. One more time. Good. So we've got this distance here. You're going to take your right arm up over your head and then back around. So you're not going to go in a full circle. Right arm goes up, left arm goes down, and then return right back to center. This is a little different. We're not making a full circle. We're gonna finish it, but we're just right now going kind of at a half circle on both sides. Just a little different than we normally do. One more time. breathing. Now, let's go all the way out, kind of to a T, and then we'll do all the way full circle. Down both arms, out wide. And remember, the circle isn't going to go below the level of the roller. So you're not looking for this big pectoral stretch here. You're just looking for, really, it's about considered to be about 120 degrees instead of over 180 degrees of a circle. Breathe overhead and down. One more time, circle around. And then come down. Fingertips touch. Pull those fingers wide. And again, don't go too much further than the center of your chest. And close. And pull wide. Let the fingers pull back towards each other. You might feel that pull in your forearms, your thumbs. That's our tensional pull across the line of the nerve. Two more. Big and open. One more. And open. It's a very fascial specific movement. And then bend the wrist in and out. It's like little waves. Movement. You can turn the wrists if you want, but just simple rolls of the wrists in opposition. Good. And just drop the arms. Good. Take the right hand. Take the right hand, take the right hand across to the left shoulder, left hand underneath at the base of your roller. So if you're really close to the base of your roller, you're going to move towards the top of your roller. You want to just be able to reach the base of the roller and grab that roller with a couple of fingers. So you're getting some length out of your neck. So I've got in my right hand. I'm going to touch my left shoulder. Sorry, my right shoulder with my left hand, and I'm going to look the other direction. So I'm looking towards my left, and then I'm just pulling up with my right. Take a deep breath, press down with my left hand, exhale. Inhale, bring your head center. Let's take my right hand to my left shoulder, left hand on the bottom of the roller, just reach. Turn my head to my right shoulder. Take a big deep breath. I'm going to press down with my left arm, with my right hand on my left shoulder. Inhale, center. One more time. So left hand on right shoulder, right hand on the bottom of the roller. Look towards my left shoulder. Take a deep breath. Press down on my right shoulder with my left hand. Exhale. Inhale, center. Last one here. Right hand on left shoulder, left hand at the bottom of my roller. Kind of hold, look towards my right shoulder. Take a deep breath. Push down with my right hand. In, bring my head center and just release and just rest on the roller for a second. And then extend one leg. Let's roll right off the roller. Move that roller out from underneath you. Readjust as you need to find a nice balance point. Recheck your baseline or your masses and spaces. My hips are much more level now. Nowhere near the kind of the tilt that I was feeling at the beginning, and actually even more connection in my upper body than what I was feeling before. I felt very neutral. This is even better, which is an awesome feeling. Let's take that roller to underneath the hips. Lift the hips up. Good, and then just bring those right knee and left knee up. So knees should be right over your hips, breathing, and then you're gonna drop both knees to your chest, give them a little bit of a hug, give them that squeeze, exhale it. Look between your legs and just see if your feet feel even. If one foot's way sticking up, or down for that matter, or if the feet are just about even with each other, That's a good sign for hamstrings and for hip balance. Lower just your left foot to the ground, keep that right knee in. Push that right foot down, pull push my right and left leg are having a hard time today. Push your left foot down, pull the left heel towards. You're engaging that hamstring. Pull the right knee into your chest, not position. Breathe. That hamstring may just really show up and then release. And let's go to the other side. Push that right foot down, pull the right heel in, and then pull the left knee into your chest. And then again, draw the right knee into your chest, pull the left heel towards your butt, exhale. My left hamstring's really jammed up today. And then let's come in nice and close to the chest again. Good. Lower the left foot down again, raise the right foot up. Good. Think of sinking your hips, not arching your back, but sinking your hips, keeping your ribs down. Lower that right leg so the right knee and the left knee line up. Push the heel out, take the leg away. See if you can open this space up right at the top of the thigh, get long, and then just turn that foot back and forth from the hip. So you're opening up that inguinal joint here. This is where we sit on all day long. Like you're screwing that foot into the wall way out in front. Keep the ribs down. Keep the pelvis level. Reach that right heel out. Breathe and hold out. Come up just enough. Now you're going to take your legs and you're going to cross them away. So your left knee went underneath your right. Your right leg went towards the left side of the room. And I want you to think of sinking back into this outer right thigh. Pulling this right hip toward the roller. Even though the right foot is going towards the ceiling, pulling the right hip in opposition. And then releasing. That's it. Pull that knee into the chest. I know that's a lot, especially because I was screwing up my right and left. But that motion here where we release the hip and we get some space there, so important for releasing our lower back. Let's bring that left knee in, left foot up, reach, sink that hip down, lower that knee so the knees are in line. Reach that left leg out, ribs stay down, and then let's kind of swish that left leg now. So my knees are about in alignment with each other and reaching my left leg long, keeping my pelvis level, no arching in my rib cage. Breathing. One more. Reach that left heel out. Pause. Cross my thighs. So my right thigh went underneath my left. Push my left heel towards the far side of the room. Sink my left hip down into the roller. This gets this elongated, my TFL and my IT band nice and long. And then just bring my left knee in, my right knee in, bring both knees into my chest. Take a deep breath. Just notice if your feet still are level. Drop your right foot and left foot down. Lift the roller up. And then let's go right into the hamstrings. And then let's just do back of thigh shear. So this is not a specifically, but a pretty nice lower body map to allow the lower body. So we did calf rolling. Then we did full body rebalancing, giving just kind of that lining up of the pelvis, lining up of the upper body motions, the gait patterns, releasing the neck, going to the hips, releasing the space at the inguinal joint, releasing that lengthening, and then now giving some shearing too. So we do all the R's of melt, that reconnect, rebalance, rehydrate, and release techniques of the whole back side of the body. Relax the legs. I guess R's relax too. Just do your right side, pull and press. Pause. And let's to the left side. And then pause. So just let both legs just rest over the roller. And then walk your feet in. Take that roller up from underneath you. Extend those legs all the way up. Sometimes they just want to extend on their own. They're done. They're kind of cooked feeling. But we can do it. We can recheck our baseline, recheck our rebalancing. Exhale. Notice those masses and spaces. Calves, how do they feel? Mine are more soaked into the ground. My left knee doesn't feel quite as high as my right knee does anymore. Hamstrings definitely touching the ground. Glutes swooshed into the ground. Nice small lower back arch. Very nice evenly weighted back. And my head doesn't feel like it's so weighted. Even though it's weighted, it doesn't feel like it's pushing into the ground any longer. Nice long deep breath. Let's get a nice full back rotation. Lift the hips up, shift both hips to your left, bring your knees in, drop both knees to your right. Pull that right shoulder out from underneath you. Right hand on top of left thigh. Look over your left arm. Exhale. Bring your head center. Bring your knees center. You'll be off center. Shift those hips back to the center. Shift your hips to the right side of the mat. Drop both knees to the left. And then take that right arm open. Pick your head up. If you want to look towards your right arm, big deep breath. Exhale. In center. Both knees come back to center. Feet come back to the ground. Settle there just for a moment. Deep breath. Roll yourself off to one side. Lay on one side for a moment. Bring yourself up. Let's even recheck that baseline from the beginning. Reach down and touch those toes. Or recheck your squat. Whatever was you were kind of needing some attention on. Nice. Good. Remember the squat, keeping that torso nice.